Not only is a single plane swing easier, but so many people are having success. Why? Because it's a system, it's a set of rules. If you follow the system, put those parts in place, you get better at striking a golf ball. Let's talk today about the single plane system and those little simple things you can follow to become a better ball striker. So here's a question for you. Have you ever tried to put together one of those pieces of furniture where you have to assemble all the parts, and you open the box up and you start putting it together without instructions, and you get it halfway through it and you're like, oh, got these parts left over and it doesn't quite look right, and I don't know where this one part goes, it doesn't quite fit, and you have to kind of disassemble it and then read the instructions and put it back together. I've done that way too many times, just ask my wife. So one of the things that's important is that we have instructions if we want to do things correctly. Now, one of the great things about the single plane swing, and it's probably why it's so popular and getting so much interest here on my channel, is that there's a system that I teach. I don't know if anybody else teaches really a system, but there's a set of rules that if you follow these rules in the single plane swing, you will get amazing ball striking results. You'll become a better ball striker, a better golfer, and a better player, which is what we're all trying to do. Today, I want to discuss with you what is the system that I'm talking about when I discuss single plane. There's a system here. There's a set of rules. Now, it's important to have a set of rules. Why? First things first, how many times have you gone to the driving range and you practice and you don't hit it very well, things aren't going well, and you start guessing? You start changing your grip, changing your setup, changing your ball position, bend, more bend, arm position. You start getting into what I call the guessing game. Now that's the worst place you can be, because you don't know if you're changing what's right. You don't know if you're making correct adjustments. And the worst thing about it is you might start hitting it good with bad mechanics. Now you start building a habit around bad mechanics, so next time you try to use that, it doesn't work very well. You need a system of a golf swing to play better golf. Today, I'm going to describe to you the single plane system in brief detail to show you that there's a set of rules that if you follow these rules, you'll become a much better striker of a golf ball. So let's go through what the rules are here for the single plane swing. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe, because my channel is all about the single plane swing and Mo Norman to help you play better golf. All right, first things first, keep in mind, I just produced a product called the Domino Effect. What is the Domino Effect? The Domino Effect is really that it's not just one or two things that make up a system. Everything relates to the next. It's like a set of dominoes. Once one tumbles, they all tumble. So we have to get every piece of the puzzle right. So there's some pieces of the puzzle here that I want to talk to you about, that it's not just about make your grip stronger. It's not just about tilt your body. Everything relates. For example, if you get the address correct, you can get the backswing correct. If you get the backswing correct, you can get the downswing correct. The transition, you get the transition correct, you can get to impact. You get to impact, you can get to release and extension. Everything relates to the next. So follow the rules, stick with the puzzle, and just like you put that piece of furniture together, follow the instructions and you'll start getting some results. So let's go through the single plane system here of what I teach. First things first, there's two lines that must be created from the proper address position. From that face-on view, there's a alignment of the club and the lead arm because of the proper tilt and foot and body position. That line gets created. So it's the tilt of the body that aligns this arm up. So there's that one line. That's also because of the proper grip position. So there's your first alignment that I look for from that angle, which then, because of the tilt and the trail hand, what I call non-rotational, goes into the club like this, that creates an alignment of the club and the arm from there. So notice from this position, this alignment and this alignment, I have the single plane alignment. I am now positioned in an arm position that will be very similar to impact arm position. See what just happened there? The first piece of the puzzle is address club alignment in both this line and the single plane alignment with the club. All right, I have tons of ways of checking this, but I'm just going to go through each piece of this puzzle for you today. All right, so now that I have single plane alignment, notice my body is tilted. Now, notice that I have a side bend, a tilt of my body, and I'm going to maintain that side bend at the top. In other words, I'm not going this way, I'm not going this way. So proper rotation and maintaining side bend to the top. See that? So now I've maintained my side bend. And then from here, there's a set of rules. Now, I'm going to move into my lead knee, right? Then I'm going to come down and return the club back to its impact plane where I started. Now, here's the rule here. Lead foot rotated, trail foot on the ground, and my lead knee flexed. So there's my next set of rules. So get set up correctly. Rule number 1. Rule number 2, stay in your bends. Rule number 3, keep your feet down and knee flexed. Lead knee flexed. There's rule number 3. Rule number 4, extend, stay in your posture. That means your bends again, staying in your bends. And then 5, we're going to get the club back on plane here, knee flexed, foot down. We're following a set of rules where the body has to be in its positions. Single plane alignment, staying in your bends, foot down, knee flexed at impact, staying in your posture all the way through. Now, let me go through some things here as we follow these rules of what happens. Notice in that whole process, I did not discuss club movement. Why did I not discuss club movement? Because the club moves as a function of the proper position of the body. When I follow the rules, the club moves correctly. So now, when I set up correctly into my straight lines, I stay in my bends, I keep my feet down and keep my posture through there, the club can easily move back on plane and back down. So you see the club move on a single plane. It's the domino effect. Proper setup, proper position of the body, proper movement, set of rules at impact, and finish. This thing starts moving in a perfect fashion relative to swing plane. I don't work on swing plane. I establish positions, I produce swing plane with my body. So here we go again. You'll see the setup position, following the rules. Now here's what's fascinating about it. And this is the beautiful thing about it, probably why you're interested in this. Let's say I go out and I don't feel as good today, I'm not hitting it as good. It's very simple. Follow some rules, right? Get back into the basic fundamentals. Rules are just fundamentals. Get into my address. Set my lines, which I call setting my lines, my lead arm, and that line, I set my lines. Now, I simply follow the rules, staying in my side bend and my bends, and then I keep my feet down on the way through, and pretty soon, I start hitting it better again. That's amazing, right? Set of rules, set of principles. I keep following the same set of principles and the results show up. Think about this. You go to the golf course, right? Now, I don't think a whole lot about my swing on the golf course. I basically get up and hit it because I've practiced enough. But let's say you're not hitting it good on the course. Let's say you go out there and things aren't going well. Follow the rules. Get back into a good feeling address. Keep your feet nice and stable on the way down. And just take it back. And there you go. Follow the rules. It's great having a system. It's great having a set of rules. Master those positions. So here's my suggestion to you. Learn more about the single point swing. I covered it very briefly here. There's a lot to that address. I went through it very fast. I look for these lines. I kind of gave you my checkpoints. When I take a video of my swing, I check my lead arm alignment. I check the trail arm alignment. I check my position here to make sure I'm correct. I check my position here, and I check my position here to make sure I'm back on plane. So I'm checking my fundamentals on video. I do it all the time. If you've seen my instruction or you come to my schools, I discuss using video a lot because it gives me some feedback on whether I'm I'm basically following the rules, right? Following the system. So keep in mind that you need a system. You need some way to know that you're doing it correct or not. Reference the system. And you need a set of rules you follow that you always go back to so you can get out of the guesswork when you practice. And if you do that and you get good at it, you'll be in that kind of that mode which Mo got into, where you just don't know how to hit it badly, because it's real easy to fix your swing when things aren't going well, and you basically get a lot more consistency in your ability to strike a golf ball. Hope that helped define a little bit of the single plane system today, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'd love to talk to you more about the single plane swing.